We were pretty famous back in high school. Trust us.
Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast.
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, I fucked up. The best joke is now not going to be
on there. Oh, well. It's like we're going to have to make a tribute joke to the greatest joke on earth or whatever. This is the greatest and best joke in the world. Tribute.
Dude, so that song is getting like major legs right now. Like it's on TikTok.
Oh, really?
Like, all these young people are just like, oh my God, how has nobody ever heard of Tenacious D? They're so amazing. This is what we've been sleeping on this band for all these years. Oh, and all of us people our age are just like, yeah,
dude.
That song came out, or that album came out in like 2001.
I think it was 01. I think it was a year. Yeah.
I'm like, yep, that came out then, and like, yep, they had the HBO show before that. Like, I was well aware of Tenacious D in the late 90s. Early 2000s, all you kids from 2022 just finding out about Tenacious D. But yeah, we'll do a tribute to the joke at some point. The future. You look perplexed.
Yes. Something started playing on my computer, and I can't figure out what it is.
Was it Tribute by Tenacious D?
No, that'd be awesome, though.
That would be weird. That'd be more eerie and weird if all of a sudden that song just started playing.
It would, but
your computer was just like playing.
Is it this browser?
Serious listening. Dude, that'll happen to me every once in a while, is all of a sudden something will be playing in the background and it's like some minimized web like site tab that's just like hidden.
I stopped it.
Just a random YouTube video playing somewhere.
Yeah, I have a site up and I put it in reader view because I got you got to skip through all the jump to try to find what you're actually reading. And once I put it in reader view, that's when something started playing, and I couldn't tell what it was.
It was like, since you're in reader view, clearly you want to hear this.
You want to listen to something,
or whatever the hell's.
And like most browsers, there's a way to mute the tab, and there wasn't even like an option to do that, so I just refreshed it and it worked.
There you go.
Tenacious D. I loved that HBO show. Because it was so just bizarre, and when the Pick of Destiny movie came out, I was just hoping that it was just a movie version of that show,
right?
And since it wasn't, I was pretty let down.
Yeah, I never watched that movie, but from what I am aware of it, it's supposed to be what happened, like the build up to them getting to that point. So basically it's like a prequel to the HBO series.
It's kind of they have some elements of the show in the movie,
right?
But they also show how Kyle and Jack meet, and they show Jack like training to try to be in Kyle's band and stuff like that. So I don't think that it's really leading up to the show. I mean, you could look at it that way, I guess.
That's what I thought it was supposed to be. It was them, like, how they formed, and then, because the show is basically them, like, every episode of the show ended with them, like, singing on a stage in some place, like, doing an open mic or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of singing about what happened, maybe, like, during the show.
Leading up to it. Yeah. They don't do that. They have a few points in the movie where they're up on a stage just like that, just in a little dive place,
and nobody gives a crap.
Yeah,
they just get like bad responses from everybody.
But then they have, it's called the Pick of Destiny, and so they hear about this magical pick that all the great guitarists in the world have had, and it's sort of the secret thing. And so they try to track it down to become the greatest, rock stars by having the Pick of Destiny in their possession. And it all goes awry, and it is still a good. Once years later, I watched it again, and I was once I had let go of what I wanted it to be, I enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I never watched it, but I had the the soundtrack for it because I'm like, oh, it's a Tenacious D album. And listening to the soundtrack, it's like, yeah, I pretty much understand what like the entire movie just based on listening to the soundtrack. You can kind of follow it along.
Yeah. Once I had also heard the soundtrack and I had to rewatch the movie years later to then go back and listen to the soundtrack and go, okay,
Right.
I get this isn't a Tenacious D album. It's a soundtrack to the Tenacious D movie. So I had to think of it that way.
Yeah. Because otherwise, if you're just looking at it as an album, it's just kind of like,
Yeah. And then their
very mediocre.
Rise of the Phoenix is just a Tenacious D album. It's just songs. And then their other one, there's some skits on there too. So it's a very, very reminiscent of the original album. And then I forget what they named their next one, but that's this sort of story throughout the whole album. And the concert would play these little cartoons in between the songs. Right. And that made the whole thing make way more sense.
Yeah, they did. I know they did like a cartoon thing or like an animated thing. And it probably follows that or something.
Yeah. So I just started listening to the album when it came out and I'm like, this isn't really that great. And it didn't seem like it made a lot of sense. And then when I saw the concert, I saw all the stuff that goes in between. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, I get it now. But I still haven't gone back to listen to the album since then.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All you youngsters. Tenacious D's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So stop trying to tell us how awesome you are for finding them.
I want to say, what was it, like 90? I think they started something in like 94 or something like that.
Yeah, mid to later 90s. Because they were like, I know they were like going around and stuff in, around in California and stuff, I think is where they first kind of started doing everything. But they got fairly popular amongst just people in that area. Cause I know they were like in the movie Biodome, whenever the hell that came out and like stuff like that. They would do little, cameos in movies back in the day and stuff.
I know Jack Black stuff. I know Jack Black had he did a couple episodes of Mr. Show, but I don't know if there was any Tenacious D tie-in with that, or if he was just Jack Black being on that show as a character.
Probably just Jack Black. But yeah, there you go. That was unexpected talk about Tenacious D.
You, as far as I know, you introduced all of us to Tenacious D.
Probably, because I think I was the only one that probably had any knowledge of their HBO series prior to the album coming out. And then I think I just randomly MTV was on and the video for Wonder Boy came up and I was like, oh crap, they have a fucking album. So I went and got it and then showed all you guys probably when we were playing D&D or something.
I was going to say, I remember being at Eric's house and you showing me the album. And I thought, oh, another actor with a band. How good can this be? I was aware of Jack Black, I think only in High Fidelity.
Right.
I didn't know him from anything else. And so I'm like, okay, great. I just threw it away. I didn't think it was going to be anything good. And then I heard it and it was different. It was very good. Biodome came out 1996.
Okay.
The height of Pauly Shore popularity.
Was that the height?
Well, I mean, he was in. Yeah, I'd say that was in the midst. There was Biodome. I think In the Army Now was kind of his last. Son-in-Law was so Encino Man and Son-in-Law were kind of hits for him. Biodome was a hit, and then In the Army Now I don't think did as well.
No, probably not.
And he voiced a character in a Goofy movie. I don't remember which one.
He was
his friend.
He was
Max's friend.
Yeah. He was basically just Pauly Shore, but a dog.
Yeah, I mean he's one of those guys that's not hired to be an actor. He's hired to be a personality in a movie. You know? So he's hired to be Pauly Shore.
Now that I said he was a dog, I'm trying to remember. I thought I saw a thing that showed that Goofy isn't actually a dog.
What?
Hold on.
There was always that weird thing about.
Okay, now because he's a tall anthropomorphic dog, but I thought I saw something else that was comparing him to a different.
I think creature. I heard that too. Somebody was basically saying that because isn't Pluto one of the characters that's a dog that acts like a dog and isn't anthropomorphic?
What was that? Who?
Isn't Pluto?
Yeah, Pluto's just a dog. That's a dog.
Yeah, and then so it's weird that in the same world you have a dog that's just a dog, and then a dog that walks around and talks like a human.
Yeah, I think because some people were thinking that Goofy was a cow. I think, but he doesn't have the right.
That's what it was.
He doesn't have the right nose for a cow. It says Goofy. Yeah, Goofy is a dog. He was introduced as a side character named Dippy Dog in the 30s. So I think I think that's what I was confusing. Is that some people thought he was a cow.
I think I saw something that tried to run that argument too. It was comparing,
right,
because they were showing old Disney cow characters that were in old Disney cartoons, and they looked a bit similar. They had some similar features.
But
then again, a lot of the animals back in those early days, there was they all had a lot of similarities.
Yeah, because all the cartoons were 8-bit back in the day, so everybody's really blocky looking.
Yeah, there weren't bits back then.
8-bit illustration.
Sir, I can draw more blocks. No. I
can draw them smaller.
I don't want to I don't want to overwork you.
No, this will become popular one day.
See, we got to make it look. There's the room for improvement. We got to make it look like it's crude at first, and then we improve over time. We don't want to come out with our best efforts.
It's called rounding the edges.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then in the 2000s, when it's super crazy future, looking all the way into the 2000s, there's going to be a game that comes out that steps us way back to this square, shitty looking animation. It's called Minecraft.
I thought that's where you were going.
I don't understand the popularity of that game. It's not for me, I guess.
I don't know. Yeah, being someone who always liked when the graphics got better and more realistic, I would always think if a new game came out and the graphics were better than the previous game, that I always just thought that newest game was a better game. I never even considered the actual gameplay itself.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of really good-looking games that are absolute horribly shitty games.
Yeah, so the thought of Minecraft was such a weird step backward, and I couldn't understand why anyone cared to play this game when there are such more graphically intensive, realistic-looking games to play.
Right. You're like, this game looks amazing. I don't care how crappy it is. Look at it. It's so much better.
And then, I don't know how aware you are of Roblox, but that's even worse looking than Minecraft is.
Yeah. That's like, I don't know. Roblox is like a slightly rounder edged Minecraft, but with somehow crappier graphics.
It's, because a lot of
more rudimentary.
Almost all the games are user made, and so they're just.
But the graphics wouldn't be.
Yeah, there's got
to be building blocks to create within.
They all look crappy. Yeah, it all looks really. Yeah. I mean, some of it they've gotten better with some detail when it comes to water and terrain and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but most everything else still looks the same.
Yeah,
I have played both Minecraft and Roblox.
Yeah, so you can at least have an opinion on which one you feel is a better game, and which one is a better graphically. And I think Minecraft probably wins on both. Minecraft
wins. Well, the thing about Leo started playing Roblox first, and then I got him Minecraft thinking that would replace Roblox,
right?
And it didn't, and so now there's both, but. Minecraft is Minecraft. It's largely the same game. Right. It always has been. Roblox is like there's so many different kinds of games to play on Roblox that it is better in that way because you have a bit of variety. You can play all sorts of games on there, but graphics obviously you can tell that though the graphics are really crude and ancient looking on Minecraft, you can tell it's developed by professional game developers,
right?
Whereas Roblox is not. So Minecraft definitely wins out in those categories. But I would say the only way that Roblox comes out ahead is just the fact that you have all that variety
Right.
varying types of games you can play.
It's more of a sandbox style game where you can kind of do all sorts of different stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Quite cool.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Matt, what got you on the Goofy movie and the Pauly Shore? Pauly Shore took us there.
Yeah.
Matt, do you want to hear about some animals that have been imprisoned or arrested?
I would love to hear that. But before we get into that, Sean, I would just like to say, welcome to High School Famous. I'm Matt.
That's the whole intro? Welcome to High School Famous, the podcast where we delve deep into the world of Pauly Shore, 8-bit
well before
graphics,
telling you what you're listening to.
8-bit graphics, Minecraft,
Tenacious D,
whether or not Goofy is a dog or a cow.
The hard-hitting questions.
The people, the most in the public eye are afraid to ask.
Right.
And afraid to answer.
Yeah. So, Sean, you know what I've been really wondering about recently?
What is Matt?
I've just been wondering.
What have you been wondering about?
I've been wondering about animals that have been imprisoned or like arrested.
You don't say.
Yeah. Do you have any knowledge of that sort of topic?
My extent of knowledge goes as far as me looking up this website before we started.
Awesome. That's crazy. What a coincidence.
I know. It's
wow.
like we share a psychic link.
Yeah.
Which I'm very possessive of my psychic links, so it's not usual for me to share those.
Yeah.
I usually have a psychic link with just myself.
I think most people are that way.
Right.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't feel judged then.
Yeah, unless you have like a conjoined twin.
Ooh. All right, Matt, here's a question. If you were to have a conjoined twin, where would you think is the ideal place of the body to be conjoined?
Ooh.
Because you've seen, there are people that have been joined at the head. There are people like that share a heart. There are people that are kind of, they'll have like the lower portion of the body where it's almost like, I think there have been cases where they share a leg. So they each have their own one leg and then they share a leg.
Right.
So it's almost like a 3-leg. I think that's happened. I'm sure it has.
Probably. Man, most ideal place to be conjoined?
Yeah.
I mean, I can think of some very unideal places.
Sure, but that's not the question I asked you.
No.
I mean, you can go ahead and answer the question I didn't ask you if you want.
Yeah, I may. I guess like hip area. Like I think it would be better to still like, because I think it'd be weird if you both like if you're conjoined like in the upper half or whatever, like you share a bunch of organs, like so if one of you eats, does that sustain the other person so they don't have to eat, or does that or do you both still have to eat? It's all going to the same stomach, or like it's weird to think about.
Well,
like,
if it's going to the same stomach, I would bet that one person could just take care of it. Like they do, they eat in shifts, you know?
Yeah. Oh, you take breakfast.
Yeah. It's like, now here's the question. If you share a stomach, your stomach would get full when you eat the amount of food that one person normally eats.
Right.
But that wouldn't probably be enough to fuel both bodies.
Well, let's be honest. Most people eat more than they need to eat to fuel themselves. So
very much so.
Yeah. So I'm sure that wouldn't be an issue if because it would get to the point where you'd eat and then you'd be like, you'd still be hungry. If your body's burning, for two. I don't know how else to word that. But yeah, if you're burning because you have basically two bodies being fed by one stomach. Yeah, you're going to burn through that energy faster. So you'll just eat more.
That is true.
So I guess the benefit of that is you can eat more in almost anything you want because you're going to burn more calories throughout the day.
Yeah.
Potentially. They're, science. This is very scientific discussion we're having.
Yeah,
we know all the facts.
Burning for two.
Burning for two. That's a scientific term.
But I would probably say the same as far as
hip area.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to share a leg.
Yeah.
It'd be annoying to have like two full upper halves though, like that stuck next to each other, because one person would have to be they'd probably both have to be kind of turned almost at all times. You'd have some weird twisted bones. Yeah,
I'm wondering if you share a leg, what if, like, let's say I'm on the left half and you're on the right half, and we share that middle leg. So my right leg is your left leg, for example.
Right.
But we end up with a left foot there. Then I have two left feet.
Oh man, you're gonna be horrible at dancing.
I know. Well, I already am, but I can't blame my my conjoined twin that I share a leg with on that. But yeah, like you unless you're not going to have like a middle foot. You're going to have either a right or a left foot.
It'd be way weirder
on
to
that
have
spot.
a middle foot. It's a middle foot. It just has one big toe in the middle, and then like subsequent toes coming out.
Just there's 4 toes on either side of
Pointed
the
like an
middle toe
arrowhead.
and the big toe in the middle. Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah. But what would be weird too is like, do we both control the middle leg, or does only one of us control the middle leg?
Here's what I'm thinking. Let's say it's a left foot. That means that would be essentially mean essentially that you have your 2 legs.
Yeah.
And I have just the one left leg.
Yeah, you probably have a weird like leg bone like in there, maybe not fused or fused to my bone.
So I would almost act as like a cane or a walking stick for you and your 2
for all
legs.
your extra weight.
Yeah, I think so.
Your leg is just a support leg for all the weight you're bringing into the equation.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Dude, like dating in intimate situations would be so awkward.
I mean, that's what everyone always wonders.
Right?
But you just
or using the bathroom.
Using the bathroom. Yeah,
I mean, I guess I just get used to like we just get used to seeing each other's dicks all the time.
You wouldn't be even getting used to it. It's the only thing you would know. Like right now you're in the mindset as though we just become conjoined. It's like, oh, now I have to do this.
That is weird.
Like,
this is what a terrible accident we just were in.
Yeah.
We're now conjoined.
But this is
a horrible car accident.
This is all they know, so it's not strange. But I mean, it's that there are conjoined twins that get married to different people, and they have children. So there's
that's so.
Is it like earmuffs?
Yeah, like all right, I'll just put like I'm gonna go to sleep. Well, we're gonna have sex. Like
right.
Well, I guess I'm not going to sleep then, because there's no way I'm gonna sleep next to that. Like even if I put on headphones and like a sleep mask, it's not like like oh we got to get one of those awesome Tempur-Pedic beds or whatever where you can bounce a bowling ball on this side and the wine glasses don't tip over on that side. Like they were fucking right next to me. I didn't even feel a thing.
Yeah. And my wine glass did not spill.
Yeah. Which is great.
But sadly I
needed it.
Sadly I couldn't pick up that spare.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be rude if you're like, let's say
I'm going to say yes before you finish, but go ahead.
Okay. Your conjoined sibling is having relations with their partner.
Mm-hmm.
You just take care of yourself while they're at it.
Oh God,
is that rude?
Really awkward. Is it?
It's already awkward. But is it almost like because
like I would say,
I'd be like to me that's the most appropriate. To me that's the most appropriate time to do it, because otherwise you're doing it separately and the other sibling is not distracted by his own activities.
I would say one situation where it's definitely not rude is if they're like fooling around and you're like, dude, seriously, stop. Like we have to get up in the morning for work, blah, 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 all this stuff. And they're like, oh no, we're going to do it. Screw you. And he's like, I need to sleep. Nope. And then he's like, well, fine. If you're going to do that, then I'm just going to watch and jerk off. That's not rude. That's like, hey,
wait,
now there's
consequences. That was not rude.
Now there's consequences. You're not because he's asked them not to do it.
Okay, hold on.
Not to have sex, and they said no. We're still going to have sex. So he's like, fine. If you're going to have sex, then I'm going to jerk off. So it's not rude in that sense because now it's a consequence. If you're going to have sex, I'm going to jerk off.
You're now on record as saying that it's okay and not rude or a problem to threaten to jerk off in front of somebody as a form of punishment.
As you
tell them first?
as long as you're conjoined and you've asked them not to.
Oh, okay. And you've asked them not.
But yeah, I think if it was like, hey, me and my girl are gonna, have sex, please turn away as best you can.
Just turn your head.
Just turn your head.
To the right or left.
Maybe watch something on your phone and pretend you're on the ocean.
Do they have a waterbed?
Well, just because there's going to be movement.
Motion.
Way.
There's going to be motion.
Then if he's like, all right, and then starts jerking off, it's weird. Yeah.
I think I'm on the other side of that.
He's like, fine, you guys can do that if you want. He turns his head, just starts watching porn.
Right. I mean, but I mean, I'm on the other side of that. I think out of all the times to do that, that's the most appropriate.
Yeah.
Because
I guess already in that situation. So we're talking about the guy is conjoined, right? So it's just a normal woman, not a conjoined woman. It'd be really weird if it was two conjoined people having. But
that's happened.
What if the person what if the person? So the person on the left would then have to be dating the other person on the right,
right? Or if you do reverse, then you swap.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
good point.
I want to turn around.
Because I was about to say there's only so many positions you'd be able to do.
Yeah.
So what I was also thinking though is like, so if it's just a conjoined twin male couple, conjoined male twins, and just a single female, and you don't want your brother to get involved with any of this, I'm like, there's really the only one position you can do is guy on bottom.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's like, oh no, I'm going to do her doggy now. Come on, Brian, get up.
Brian, huh?
I don't know. Like, you got to help out here.
Like, so let's say it's conjoined twins males with conjoined female twins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Both cases, it's joined at the hips, right?
Okay.
It's like if you start off missionary and you want to switch to doggy style, they have to switch partners.
Yeah.
In order for both to be able to performing at the same time.
Or you'd have to do a very weird version of doggy style where like they're in doggy position, but you're like doing a headstand.
Oh, sure. You would have to do that. That's just taking missionary and flipping it upside down.
Right. But you'd have to take turns. Yeah. Right. I'd be like, all right, you have to sit this one out, Brian.
Well, I can't sit this one out. I have to
stand it out.
I have to stand still. Otherwise, you have to sit too. You forget.
Luckily, both of these couples also enjoy watching occasionally, so they're like okay with taking a little bit of a break. But I mean, the good news is if they did do the switch thing, they're conjoined twins, so the DNA is going to be pretty similar all around. So if they accidentally get the other one's girlfriend pregnant,
that'd be a weird Maury episode.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
conjoined girlfriend pregnant,
but it's like I don't know that they would be able to have a positive or negative paternity test.
Yeah,
both would probably show up with the same. They would both register as the father,
especially if they're because are conjoined twins always identical twins?
That I don't know.
Because isn't it because identical twins is when an egg splits, correct? And then
I thought it was when two sperm go in the same egg.
No, I thought it was one. I thought it was an egg split, and then non-identical, or what is it, paternal twins or whatever it's called.
Fraternal and paternal, I think.
Yeah. So fraternal, I think, would be identical, where they're both. It's one fertilized egg that splits. I believe. I'm coming into this with so please, if anybody's listening to this, I have no real actual knowledge, and I'm not Googling it. But I think the other would be two separate eggs get fertilized when they're not identical.
How often are there two eggs at the same time?
Hold on. I don't. Okay, so it's the difference between identical and fraternal twins. We're going to look this up real quick so that I don't sound so dumb. Multiple births are common and they were are more common than they were in the past due to advancing average age. To form identical twins, one fertilized egg or ovum splits and develops two babies with exactly the same genetic information. This differs from fraternal twins where two eggs are fertilized by two sperm and produce two genetically unique children who are no more alike than individual siblings born at different times. Okay. So I was pretty much right.
I was half right. Yeah. Because there is a scenario where there are two sperm, but I thought it was where two sperm fertilize one egg, but this is where there are two eggs present and two sperm just happen to fertilize. There's a sperm that happens to fertilize each egg.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would say that identical or conjoined twins are going to be identical all the time because it's an egg that doesn't fully split, basically.
Gotta be.
Yeah. So in that Maury situation, their DNA would be identical. So you wouldn't be able to tell which sibling impregnated the other. So it wouldn't matter at that point.
Yeah. but you would be. I mean, at that point, it's a rock paper scissors game.
Yeah. Now, what if you were joined at the hip, only having one set of legs?
I mean, you would only have
so
one.
You'd only have one penis. So you're both going to be having sex with, like, if the woman was the same way, you'd both be having sex with each other, like with both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you had somehow two penises, 2 legs, 2 penises.
One mission.
It's my way.
I don't know where to go with that.
Oh man. Yeah, I honestly don't. We've spent way too much time on conjoined twins, and I don't even know why it came up. You just randomly asked me.
Remember somebody mentioned conjoined twins, and then I said, "Where do you think is the ideal place to be connected to a conjoined twin?" That's how it started. I think you mentioned conjoined twins.
No, I honestly think you brought it up completely randomly. I don't remember saying anything about conjoined twins. I literally think you just said, "Hey, if you were a conjoined twin, where would you like to?" No.
It was.
I'm going to listen back at the edit, and I'm going to see exactly what happened. But you mentioned conjoined twins for some reason, and then I don't think
I thought of the question of asking, where would you prefer to be connected to a conjoined twin?
I
did not come out of nowhere.
I honestly don't remember saying anything about conjoined twins.
You did, and you'll hear it.
Oh, all right. We'll figure that out. Anyways, so Sean, I was wondering, I mean, I was really curious. Do you have any information on, like, I don't know, animals that have been imprisoned or jailed at all? Or
so wait, are you no longer curious?
Oh, because I said was.
Yeah,
Sean.
So do you not want to hear about it? Oh, you want to hear about it still?
So, Sean, I was thinking the other day.
You were wondering,
and I was thinking first, and that made me wonder.
Yeah,
like, do animals ever go to jail or prison? Like, has that ever in the whole world, Sean, in all of time, in the entire existence of Earth, in all of the realm of insanity, do you ever think, like, maybe
I mean,
is there a chance that animals have ever, animals crime? So, Sean, anyways, I was wondering if there's ever been a time in the history of the world or Earth since jail's been invented, have any animals ever been arrested or put in prison or jail?
Yeah, and a great move on your part. We're already 37 minutes into this, and let's just stretch this out. Let's not get to the point yet. let's get the longest question delivery in the history of recorded media.
We might have to save this for a different episode.
Hey, I know.
Just piss everybody off.
You just posed the question. I'm like, yeah, I've got all this information on it, and then we never do it.
Oh, it'd been funnier if you just went, no.
I mean,
I have no knowledge, no idea.
Even though I already answered the question earlier. Hey, I'm not sure if it's happened more than this, but this is a list, and I know we're not going to get through all of them. 25 animals that have been imprisoned or arrested.
Oh, it's 25 different animals?
No, I think it's just 25 cases of something happening.
Specifically, each animal is different from from themselves, from each
other.
But
we're not dealing with 25 different species of animal.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So let's hear about the pigeon that was arrested on suspicion of espionage.
What?
Far-fetched. In 2015, officials in India arrested a pigeon they suspected was a spy. The bird's body was stamped with a message written partly in Urdu, Pakistan's official language, and what appeared to be a Pakistani phone number. It had landed in a village close to the country's shared border with Pakistan, near the Kashmir region that's claimed by both countries and has been the subject of multiple wars between India and Pakistan. So when a 14-year-old boy found the suspicious-looking pigeon so close to Kashmir, he turned it over to the authorities. The officials took it to a veterinary hospital for x-rays, and though they couldn't find any concrete evidence of foreign foul play, they kept the bird in custody, recording it as a suspected spy in their police diary.
So they couldn't find any concrete evidence.
Right.
Did they find any other materials?
Any other forms of evidence? Any other building materials?
Yeah. It was covered full of rebar.
We compare the internals of the pigeon to a lot of other materials found at a local construction site.
None were found.
That said, not everyone took the news as seriously as the Indian police did. In the days following the bird's arrest, Pakistani social media was flooded with memes depicting the feathered detainee as a slick 007 type.
I mean, that's such a stretch of it was arrested. No, they found the bird. They brought the bird in to see if there was anything weird with it. It's not in custody as much as it's just like, oh, this is weird. Let's hold on to this bird until we figure out what the hell's going on. Like, I don't know. Is it really arrested in that sense?
I don't know how many of these are actual stories. What you would think of as an arrest and something that's been imprisoned in what we think of as a traditional jail.
I thought you were gonna be like, none of the. I don't know how many of these are like actual stories.
Let's see, we can do now. I'm going to skip this one because it's poor India again. But I might go back to it. Oh, another one, India. I'm sorry, India.
Yeah, you got some problems.
I've got 3 stories so far that involve your country.
Hold on, I'm going to check real quick how many listeners we have in India, just to see if how many people we may or may not be offending. Oh, we're good.
We're good. Okay,
we're good. Yeah, we've only had one download in India. We're good. We can offend an entire country.
One documented download. I mean, I think there's a lot of bootlegging going on over there.
Yeah, I get that. Also, doesn't mean that we don't have listeners that are from India but living in other countries.
That's true.
So we'll tread lightly.
I'm going to assume that every one of our listeners is Indian, of Indian descent.
Okay,
and they just live in various parts of the world.
It's probably safe to assume that.
Right. So we're going to tread lightly and be careful.
Yeah.
But you know what? That means that I should pull out all the stops and take no caution in telling this tale of Germany.
Oh, that's fine. I got some German in me. Offend away.
Gotcha. The squirrel that was arrested for stalking a German woman while walking down the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, just a stalking. It's like,
yeah, I know.
It's an animal. It's a loose interpretation of what it was doing.
While walking down the street in the West German city of Bottrop, I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. In 2015, a woman realized that she had attracted a furry stalker, a tiny red squirrel.
Okay. Now be careful when you say furry stalker. Be a completely different thing.
I'm just reading the story, Matt.
She's saying tiny. We're not sure exactly of its size. It could just be a little person in a squirrel suit.
Gotcha. Could be a grower, not a shower. The animal was chasing her and acting aggressively. Frightened and unable to flee the rodent, the woman called the police for help. Authorities captured the squirrel, arrested it, and brought it back to the station. There, they discovered that the critter was suffering from exhaustion. Police helped nurse the...
It's thirsty.
Yeah, and getting aggressive about it. Hey, lady, you've got water. I'm sure of it. The police helped the squirrel back to health by feeding it honey, and a spokesperson said that the squirrel would be sent to a rescue center instead of languishing away in a cell for its stalkerish habits.
Yeah. Okay. No, you made me laugh when you said it was a shower or a grower, not a shower, and it just made me think of like, are all little people showers, are growers not showers?
Oh, don't say that. We don't say that. All of our listeners are from India,
and they're all little people. They're all little Indian people.
Okay, let's see what this one's about here. This is the cat who was detained for helping out with a prison break.
Jesus Christ. These are all going to be such like overly interpreted actions on the animal's parts.
On New Year's Day in 2013, a cat took the heat for scheming Brazilian inmates who were likely either planning a jailbreak or attempting to communicate with outlaws on the outside. 2 very different things. The white feline was slinking around. That's your first red flag.
That it was white?
Slinking. White. In Brazil, maybe. The white feline was slinking around the main gates of a medium security prison in Arapiraca, a city in northeast Brazil. So it's Arapiraca. Arapiraca?
Yeah.
When guards noticed that its body was wrapped in tape, they apprehended the kitty.
That's cruel.
I know. They apprehended the kitty and discovered that it was carrying items including several saws and drills, an earphone, a memory card, batteries, and a phone charger. Saws and drills are not small things.
Well, they're probably like rudimentary saws and drills, like not construction saws and drills.
Not like they went to Home Depot and got.
Yeah, they're probably like prison saws
made.
and drills, which means they're.
Well, why would you?
In.
If this is the cat trying to sneak things in, because why would you want to sneak a phone charger, and why would you sneak anything like this out of the prison when
they're probably trying to sneak him into the prison?
Right. So why would you have a prison-made saw and drill snuck into the prison? You would want.
Well, it would have to be some. Well, okay, probably not prison-made then, but something small enough to
be taped to a cat,
and
have it be mobile.
What? What a scheme! Like I know what we'll do. We'll train this cat to go in and out of the prison. I'm sure it had to do it a few times just to get used to the route. Bring a couple, bring some chewing gum, bring little things, and then it's finally like, all right,
cat chewing gum.
The cat knows the way. I don't know.
They're going to put in the energy, and they're going to put the attempt the risk to smuggle in some chewing gum.
No, the first thing they did was they taped cat treats to the cat, so that the people in the prison had something to reward the cat with when it made the journey. So the first journey was arduous because it was really hard to get the cat to go to where it needed to go because it didn't have. It's a stupid joke.
Wouldn't the cat just stop and try to tear away at the tape and get at the treats itself?
Yes, Sean. It was a dumb joke about how they would have to sneak in cat treats to make the cat learn the route.
I don't know if you know this, but
have a reward.
I don't know if you know this, but this is
jokes are supposed to be funny.
No, I was going to say this is no laughing matter. This is no laughing matter. This is a poor cat. This is a scheming, slinking Brazilian cat. Okay,
cat's just a patsy, dude.
Yeah,
the cat didn't know what it was doing. Oh,
it was right there, man. A catsy.
No, please continue with your story. Your joke was so much better than mine.
Prison officer Luiz de Oliveira Souza told reporters that the cat had been seen entering and exiting the jail before. It had been raised by inmates. So these inmates were allowed to have a cat in the prison,
I guess,
and was often
in a medium security prison. I'm sure they're a little bit more lax on.
Yeah, they're medium laxed, and it was often in the custody of one of their families. So one of the prison members' families outside of the prison.
Okay, so I guess they were just like, the cat comes and goes because it gets taken care of by them, and then comes in and visits the prisoners.
Yeah. Oh, the cat's covered in tape. The cat's covered in tape all the time. That's not weird.
Yeah.
We didn't think anything of it. What's that drill-shaped bump on the cat? It's nothing. It's the cat. Officials couldn't figure out which of the jail's 263 prisoners had tried to use the feline for their own nefarious purposes. Quote, "It's tough to find out who's responsible for the action as the cat doesn't speak." A prison spokesperson told local newspaper.
Prison spokesperson. I'm sure that sounded so much cooler in Spanish.
Probably, but laughed at just the same.
Yeah.
The following the cat's arrest, quotes, and brief imprisonment, it was taken to a local animal shelter to receive medical treatment.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, the tape probably ripped out a ton of hair and stuff.
Yeah,
that's pretty horrible.
All right, let's hear about the feisty donkey in Mexico.
That was in 2013.
That was New Year's Eve 2013 or New Year's Day 2013.
Yeah, that cat might be dead now.
Oh yeah,
might be. I mean, my cat was born before that, but
the prison life is harsh, though. It's a harsh life.
Well, true. Yeah,
it'll wear on you big time. The feisty donkey in Mexico that was locked up to settle a score.
Interesting. I'm hooked.
Now, this story I have not read yet. In 2008. Police in the southern Mexican state of Chiapas arrested a feisty donkey named Blackie after it bit a man in the chest and kicked a second man in an unmentioned area. It doesn't say where. Wait, hold on.
Does it literally say unmentioned area?
No, it just doesn't specify.
And just kicked another man.
Yeah, after it bit a man in the chest and kicked a second man trying to rescue him. So a man trying to rescue the man that was getting bitten got kicked. Police apprehended the burro and locked it in the jail's drunk tank. Quotes, around here, if someone commits a crime, they are jailed, no matter who they are.
Would you consider a donkey a someone?
Yes.
Like, how often do you refer to an animal as a someone?
Every time.
Like, oh, someone got into the chips again. Like,
yeah.
Oh.
Especially if you don't know who it is.
Yeah.
Police said that the donkey would remain behind bars until its owner, Mauro Gutierrez, paid the injured party's medical bills and salary for the days they missed work. Wow.
I can see that being a thing, but it's weird to keep it in the jail. Like, I don't know. I feel like it would be like bring it to a place like that actually like cares for animals and be like, all right, it's here until like you could lock it. Like you can say this animal's being locked up until said time, but keep it at like an animal place. Not like,
the drunk tank.
It's gonna hang out here in the drunk tank on this nice hard concrete floor that's really good for donkeys. And now we have to worry about feeding it and like cleaning up its shit and like all that, you know.
The boisterous burro served, I'm sure I'm supposed to roll my R's on that, but I can't. Served 3 days in jail, and Gutierrez settled the score by paying Blackie's victims.
It sounds so much more ominous than it's.
I know. I know.
It's victims.
Okay, this one I'm curious about, really. The bear that spent 15 years in prison.
Well, I mean, if you think of zoos,
they're all prisons.
I mean, there's a lot of animals that spend way longer than 15 years in prison.
Well, these stories now are no longer appealing.
Zoos are probably like much more nice than like what these stories are depicting as. These stories are saying prison as an actual like prison and jail as opposed to an environment that was created to be as close to their homeland as possible.
Right. And you remember the animals detained in these stories, they committed something heinous and did something. It. Right. The zoo animals, they were living.
Yeah, they were just taken from their homes.
Right.
They didn't do anything wrong.
A much more pleasant situation over at the zoo, on the zoo side of things.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2004, holidaymakers at a campsite in Kazakhstan found themselves terrorized by a brown bear who repeatedly mauled visitors.
How do you find yourself terrorized?
You look down and you're like, oh, here I am.
Oh, crap, I'm terrorized.
Several ruined vacations later, the authorities were called in to do something about the situation. Yeah, we have reports of several ruined vacations. Yeah. Chief, let's dispatch the cops.
We have a lot of complaints today of everybody keeps coming up to us and saying they have a ruined vacation.
Yeah. Not like look,
just the situation doesn't mean the vacation's ruined. It's just this situation sucks during my vacation.
Well, it says it repeatedly mauled visitors, so I like the idea of someone getting mauled by a bear and going, help, police, my vacation's ruined, versus saying, help, I've been mauled by a bear.
Right.
Their complaint to the police.
Look, the vacation was great until I was mauled.
Yeah.
Like,
can you do something
now it's ruined?
Can you fix my vacation?
Yeah.
That's what they're more upset about, not being mauled.
I demand a refund for my vacation for I was mauled by a bear. Don't worry about the fact that I was mauled by a bear.
What is this, my camp oversight?
Ruined. I thought it was named that because it looks over a nice, valley. But as it turns out, you guys just don't give a shit.
As it turns out, you guys just ignore bears here.
Yeah. Oh, look at Mr. Ignores Bears. You're getting a lawsuit, pal.
Their pamphlet
what
says,
do you think of that?
Ignoring bears for over 35 years.
Now, if you're walking through the woods and you see a bear,
look away.
I suggest you just ignore it.
Right. You don't want your vacation. You don't want your vacation to be ruined now.
Yeah. Look, we don't take any responsibility for ruined vacations around here.
Yeah, it's like we're not responsible for any
encounters.
We're not responsible for any lost or stolen items or bear maulings.
Bear maulings.
Or vacation sabotage.
Yeah. If your vacation is ruined while you're here on vacation, that's not on us.
You probably suck at vacations.
Yeah. You signed a waiver. I don't know why I got this accent all the way up here in Camp Oversight, but
You're in Kazakhstan, by the way.
Yeah.
So what?
Oh, what? I can't be a foreigner in Kazakhstan speaking English only? That's probably why you didn't know what I was having you sign.
What a bears! Oh,
Because you clearly don't speak English. This waiver is in English. Anyways, what happened to after that? Mauled people, several maulings.
What did we
later.
do, Chief? He didn't sign it in English.
It was signed in some weird foreign letters. Classic American, going
Right.
to another country and then demanding that they speak his language.
Give me pancakes.
What?
I don't know.
That was random.
Classic American attitude.
Oh, as American as pancakes, you know the saying.
I'm gonna say, man, Australia would have been so much.
You really tickled yourself with that one, didn't you?
Australia would have been so much better if they would have just given me some pancakes.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
several ruined
instead, all I
vacations
got was
later.
drop bears.
Are those? Isn't that really? That's not real, right?
That's the thing that they tell people. Watch out for drop bears.
Yeah, but there is that spider that you. Is it Australia where they're like you can flip down your visor in your car and it'll be like up there.
Oh,
and it'll be like almost the size of the whole visor.
The size of the whole car.
Yeah.
Some of the world's most crazy and deadliest and most horrible creatures on Earth are all in Australia.
Australia, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's why I'm sure that's why the British sent the criminals there.
Yeah, I was about to say even some of the world's worst people were there for a long time as well.
Right.
I mean, most of the people that live in Australia are descendants of the worst people in the world.
British criminals.
According to Britain.
Yeah. So
some of the worst British people in the world, let's be honest. We're not
non-Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah.
Anyway, several
back
ruined
to the bears.
Yeah, back to these this downtrodden bear. Several ruined vacations later, the authorities were called in to do something about the situation. Yeah. Unsure what to do with her. Oh, it's a female bear.
Oh, perfect, because I was about to call it Molly.
Oh, Molly, I like that.
Yeah, and it is a female. So awesome. I'm so good at this.
Yeah, whatever you call that, whatever you call this, whatever this is, you've got it. You've nailed it.
It's called growing, not showing.
I see. So I'll grow plenty. You're not going to see it.
No. Yeah,
I'm never going to
take
show
my
you.
word for it.
I'm never going to show you.
Yeah, 8 inches.
Cut in half, according to you. Unsure what to do with her. Oh, split. So it's like two. Anyway.
Yep.
Unsure what to do with her, officials sentenced the bear to a 15-year prison term at a penal colony called Costani.
So we're unsure what to do with her. So this is what we're going to do with her.
Should we tranquilize the bear and relocate it to another area where it can thrive?
No.
It mauled people. It ruined vacations.
It ruined vacations have been ruined.
You see the case files. Several ruined vacations.
Vacations asunder, just vacations everywhere. It just threw them all around, ruined them. Just terrible. Look at this mess.
Vacations tossed up in the air.
Just vacations all over the place. It's such a vacation mess around here.
Someone dug a hole in my vacation. It was a bear. It was Molly.
Not a pancake in sight.
No. We're flying home in the morning. First thing, sun up. At Costani, the bear, who was given the name Katya.
Oh, that's not as good.
I wish I hadn't read that.
What a missed opportunity.
I hate Kazakhstan.
I mean, it makes sense because Katya is like a Russian name. I believe they speak Russian or a version of Russian, a Russian descendant language or something like that in Kazakhstan.
I think so. Yeah, but it was so right there.
Sense, but Molly. I know Molly's great.
I'm sure
much better than them.
I'm sure the victims would appreciate that name.
I mean, did anybody die?
I don't know, but many vacations were ruined.
I mean, one guy was bit in the chest and the other guy was kicked trying to.
No, this is a donkey story.
I know,
that was the donkey story.
I know. I'm joking.
I mean, I wouldn't rule out death. I mean, that would ruin a vacation.
I mean, I never rule out death. It's an inevitability.
He's alive right in front of you. Well, could be dead.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
You don't want to rule it out.
At Costani, the bear, who was given the name Katya, was the lone female. Oh no! Among more than 700 male inmates. I don't want to read the rest of the story. I don't know why they would point that out.
Yeah, what happens next?
Life wasn't all bad for Katya, though. Wait a minute. So are they just glossing over something?
Yeah.
Are they inferring?
They said life wasn't all bad.
Right.
A lot of bear rape happened.
There is a female bear and 700 male inmates.
But it wasn't all bad.
There was a bright side to her incarceration here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think there's a real yada 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 going on with this story here.
Look, bear rape aside, here's the good parts. She was fed nice.
Yeah, she's like, now my vacation's ruined.
Oh.
Life wasn't all bad for Katya, though. In addition to her cell, she was given her own pool and was cared for by her fellow prisoners. Cared for, air quotes. That's not in the story. I did that myself. Being the intuitive
because they wouldn't
host I am.
They wouldn't have been air quotes
in the story.
Yeah. So I think we all we all got what you were saying there.
What if you just typed out air quotes in a story in print? Anyway, Katya remained in custody for the entirety of her 15-year sentence. In 2019, she was finally released to a zoo. So prison number 2.
A nicer prison. She was upgraded.
Yeah.
It's called a prison upgrade.
Where she was reunited with others of her own kind. Yeah, I would think...
of her own kind?
Well,
so what were the other prisoners?
Humans.
Oh, so... Okay.
They put her in a human prison.
They put her in a human prison.
Right. So I'm thinking...
That's where I was lost. Okay.
I'm thinking the scene out of Super Troopers.
Yeah, bear fucker.
Yeah,
got it.
That's what I'm thinking is going on here. But it wasn't all bad for Katya. She got her own pool.
Yeah.
To wash away her shame.
It was a pool of ejaculate.
Oh, the chemicals in this pool ought to kill my shame. I can't write everything down.
That's what I call a sticky situation.
Okay. I bring the humor.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I was confused as to what kind of prison she was put in originally. I thought it was a
you think they have a bear prison?
600 bears. Yeah, well, now that I think about it, yeah, 600 bears is a lot of bears.
Yeah, because okay, in the reality where they already have a bear prison,
right?
And if they have a bear prison with 700 male inmates, you would think they would also have a female bear prison, but they don't. That doesn't make any sense. But
I'm an idiot. It's fine. We get
No. I'm revisiting an earlier part of the story. They already have bear prisons, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when this bear is mauling people and committing,
bear crimes,
if not murder, why would they be unsure of what to do with her? They would have just been like, "Oh, let's send her to bear prison." That's what we have here in Kazakhstan.
So here's my problem then with the story is why 15 years in a prison, then they're like, all right, let's put her in a zoo. Like at that point, it's like, okay, we've put her in the prison because we don't know what to do with her at the moment. We're looking for a place to put her. Why would it take 15 years to put the bear in a fucking zoo? Why couldn't the bear do its sentence at the fucking zoo? But instead they're like, no, we're going to have it in this prison for 15 years because that's what we've sentenced it to.
Right.
At what fucking jurisdiction, what judge put down that fucking sentence? I
don't know what the judicial system is like in Kazakhstan, so I don't know if there was a trial of any kind. Law. Was the bear represented? I don't know.
Right. Yeah. What animal represented the bear?
I also like how they pointed out that she was put in a zoo where she was reunited with some of her own kind. I would hope that you would put a bear in a zoo with other bears.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
They put it in with animals.
Giraffe.
Well, yeah, or put it in with animals that it would then start to maul for food, and then you get arrested again.
Or animals from different parts of the world that it would never interact with in a normal like environment.
Yeah. Drop bears,
like a rhino.
That would be interesting.
A bear
riding a rhino.
Fighting. No, they say they start fighting because this bear is obviously aggressive.
Quite.
It's got anger management issues.
Maybe the bear just hates vacations.
Could be. Yeah, it didn't say anything about ruining people's lives. Only
I
their
mean,
vacations.
it didn't mention the bear being violent in the prison during its term,
Right.
its sentence. So maybe it was a little more docile because there were no vacationing going on.
I mean, maybe we're just misinterpreting like the bear's actions. What if the bear was trying to be friendly, but
High five!
just didn't know, and people just were like, so scared that there was a bear around. The bear's like, no, I'm cool, and so like it went to actually like pat them or touch them, but they backed away and ended up getting mauled.
Yeah, like someone baits a hook and he's like, "Great job," and tries to pat him on the back.
Yeah.
And it, because the bear doesn't know its own strength, the person gets knocked into the lake, and then the hook hooks the guy in the mouth, and then the guy drowns. Because the guy's like, even though I'm underwater, I got one, and he starts reeling himself in.
All right,
and he's like, boy, I wish I just have some pancakes.
Like, we know that happens, but what about a hypothetical?
Okay, fine. Yeah. All right. Let me see if I can finish the story here.
We're still on the same story?
Well, we're almost there,
Okay.
Reunited with others of her own kind, including a male bear named Yashka, who was reported to be very happy to see her. But Katya unfortunately suffered from severe PTSD after being raped hundreds of times by the male inmates and did not welcome Yashka's advances.
I like how you keep looking back at the page as if you're reading that line.
I did look back to get the bear's name right because I mispronounced it the time I riffed. While she's gone from Kostani, she's certainly not forgotten. A large statue of her has been installed on the prison grounds.
Okay. I thought I was going to say, like,
at the campsite.
I'd be like, horrible.
In loving memory.
Yeah, in loving memory of
Molly.
Katya, as it were. Yeah, Molly's such a better name, dude.
It's way better. All right, do we have time? I mean, do you want to do any more?
I mean, I had a thing. I don't know if I should wait to mention it until we have Travis on. I just had a stupid idea for like a reboot of a show. Maybe I'll save it, and we can just do. Should we do one more story, or should we end on good old Molly?
I think we need to end on Molly. I think that was strong.
End on Molly.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have the opportunity to end on Molly, you always end on Molly.
Yeah.
Right. That's like, it's not the golden rule. It's like the bronze rule.
All right. You're taking us down here now. Just
oh shit.
Yeah.
Tune
in on a future episode where you'll hear about the cat that was arrested for breaking curfew. Gasp.
Suspense. What a cliffhanger.
Starring Sylvester Stallone.
Should have just ended on cliffhanger.
What a cliffhanger.
Starring Sylvester Stallone. Bye.
Ciao.
We are on TikTok now, which makes us even cooler. HS Famous. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at HS Famous Pod. Email us directly at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. We have Patreon too, but you'll never go there. Altogether, our hearts beat as one.